Let's go. You lead the way. Where are we headed? Towards a net zero future, of course. Cleaner water, more electricity, a sustainable society. That's the destination we've set ourselves. This we know. Yes, we know exactly where we're going, but we need to get there quicker. So, let's build on the progress we've already made by working and walking together. With the right partners, tools and ideas, we'll become an unstoppable force. This we know. Right now, there are businesses who are putting technology and sustainability at the heart of everything they do. Brave leaders turning maybes into realities and building something better for everyone. Now is the time to look to the future and reinvent ourselves today, empowering others to do the same tomorrow. Yes, we know what the future holds, and we know how to get there. So, let's take charge of the journey today.
Welcome to our school board meeting.
Namaskar.
Hello.
Hi.
Spifio, access in any language.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our session about creating an inclusive education system using AI. My name is Chris Lim, and I'm the founder of Spifio, a toolkit for inclusion, learning, and fun in schools through technologies like real-time translation. Today's world is increasingly connected and diverse, and advances in technologies like real-time translation allow us to communicate and share important ideas with each other. As our translation tools improve, we can reach across language barriers, making translation accessible to workplaces and communities, schools, and individuals. We're delighted to be a sponsor of World Education Week in support of giving people access to a world-class education in any language. And today, I'm joined by my friend, Hiroyoshi Noro, founder of Dive into Code, a code school that aims to deliver IT education and employment opportunities to all countries in the world. He has built an international team that connects African teachers from Rwanda, Senegal, Burkina Faso, and elsewhere with Japanese students to support their learning and help fill the shortage in IT talent. As you can imagine, bridging the language barrier is one of the key elements that makes this collaboration possible. And today, we will discuss the ways AI is making a difference and what's in store for the future. Hiro, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's my honor. My name is Hiro Yoshinoro. I'm from Mongol. I'm a Japanese, but this week traveling in Mongol. So I'm happy to meeting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us from Mongolia. That's I think the time zone difference is really crazy. So thank you so much for, for making this break in your trip.
You're welcome.
And yeah, we're really looking forward to the conversation. I think I'll start, Hiro. Can you share more about the IT teacher shortage problem in your context?
Okay. I'll explain about the situation. And this is my introduction. And next page is the answer of your question.
Yeah, do you want to share your slides? Perfect.
Yes, let me explain about. There is a shortage of the IT personnel in Japan. There is a particular shortage of IT developers. Is also all over the world is same. To help alleviate this shortage, I am running a coding bootcamp in Japan. It's a left side. One of the problem is running this business is the shortage of the instructor to teach programming. IT instructors generally have fewer job opportunities and paid less than IT developers. Therefore, it tends to be difficult to find good instructors when there is even a shortage of IT personnel. On the other hand, if we look around outside of Japan, we will notice that there are many IT trained people. IT is taught at universities not only in developed countries, but also in emerging countries, as you see, Africa. If IT personnel in those emerging countries can take on the jobs of lecturers in Japan, it will help solve the lack of the employment opportunities in emerging countries. So I am determined to make this happen, and I am working on it now with African team. That's it.
Thank you. Yeah. What are the challenges of including many languages in your team and among your students? Because the African teachers, I'm guessing, are speaking perhaps English or French, and the Japanese students need it in Japanese. How is AI helping to address that challenges of bridging the language barrier?
It's a very nice question. The challenge is that oral communication is not smooth, particularly for students. Incomplete oral communication can cause dissatisfaction and significantly damage our reputations. On the other hand, written communication can be handled with free machine translation tool such as DeepL at this point in time, like this. We had an operation where questions from Japanese students are answered by Rwandan and Senegalese instructors. Satisfaction is high and there are no problems like this. First of all, to writing the answer by English and DeepL to translate, and again to check it, and the quality, it's okay. And addition, the collection of sample sentences, it's make a satisfaction. It's possible to support by African instructors to Japanese students. This is for example. So this is because few errors in writing are acceptable as long as the technical context in conveyed to the customer by the other party. What remain is a real-time interpretation. Real-time interpretation like this. This left side. So the last remaining frontier is to overcome language barriers in oral communications. This is the last remaining frontier, and the most difficult challenges, and it's a formidable enemy that divides our world. That's it.
Thank you, Hiro. Yeah, and I know that we at Spiffio have been building tools to help to address that interpretation need, the real-time oral communication that is really difficult to scale in this economical way if you had to use human interpreters for everything. And I know one of the tools that we've piloted with you was if you're giving a lecture to be able to have the manuscript that can be taught from, which results in really good translation in real time. And then we're working on the tools for the interactive side to make it possible for people to be able to speak off the cuff, and as long as they are completing their sentences, have a speedy translation that lets them help one another. So it's been really fun to continue our collaboration on that. Just to tie up with the bigger picture, Hiro, what is your big dream for creating an inclusive education system with AI?
Yeah, there are two dreams, big pictures. First, I like to make it commonplace for people in developed countries to learn from people in emerging countries. By creating a system that enables people in developed countries to learn from each other, overcoming barriers such as the level of economic development and language barriers. I'd also like to solve the lack of employment opportunities. I'll share some of the screen. Slide is like this. I skill transferred for Africa to become instructors, developers, and teach for Japanese students. Change the world's common sense. Like this is my first big picture. Because of in 2050, 1 in 4 people in the world will be from Africa. So we should provide the opportunities and to make a good world together. So this is one of my big picture. So I want to do my best for make it real. Second, transforming a culture of my home country, Japan, to be more open. As you know, the Japanese youth are less interested in going abroad. Their cultural openness is declining. So to open Japanese society to people from all over the world is the dream. To change my home country to be more open, a language barrier breakthrough is needed. Also, my staff in my company is also, my staff didn't even want to try to travel abroad when I went to Rwanda 5 years ago. It's a first beginning of my travel in Africa. Now, 5 years later, 20% of my staff have the passion and motivation to communicate daily with Rwandans and other country staff. The other 80% of staff just look or just check in. So that is, in fact, the Japanese company situation. So Japanese people's culture and value can be changed to be more open to interacting with foreigners, and I want to change it.
That's a wonderful vision. And just to repeat what I heard you say, when you started in 2015, is that right? Your staff, they didn't feel comfortable interacting with foreigners really at all. And you had to go by yourself to travel to Rwanda to start developing the relationships there. And then now, many years later, about 20% of your staff are daily interacting with them. And so they've become a lot more comfortable, a lot more open. But 80% are still just kind of reading, watching from the sidelines, not yet comfortable. But it's already an upward trend of openness. And so you're seeing how AI is creating a more open society and a more openness in personal relationships to interacting cross-culturally. So that's really wonderful, Hiro. And I think we're at a place right now that we can take 3 questions from our audience to just talk about. So let's go see here if there's anything in the private chat that I can bring up with you. I'm waiting for a question. Okay, I'm not seeing a question. Why don't I talk with you instead about a little bit more about your learning management platform? So I know that Diver is something that you've built in-house, and it's, as I understand it, you're using it as just a forum so that students who have questions about coding can post their question there in Japanese,
Yes.
and then your Rwandan teachers can answer in Japanese. Is that right?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Okay. And from your diagram earlier, the Rwandan teachers are able to use Google Translate, DeepL, other free tools right now to do a translation to Japanese, back translate it, verify it has the meaning they want before they post their answer to the student's question. Is that the workflow? Okay. And I know that I wanted Spiffio to integrate with your forum so that we can make it simple. The tool can be inside of it right there.
Yeah.
But given that experience and the fact that it actually works for your students, right? It's actually, they're okay with it. There's no problems with the translation quality. What's your advice for other teachers who might want to start incorporating AI tools in their teaching, whether it's in the classroom or outside of the classroom?
Yeah, my advice is just use it. Maybe it's a best way to using the AI tool in the education. In my experience, the beginning of to using the DeepL and the Google Translation is just a trial. Just trial to teach for others. So it's sometimes it's not a good quality of the sentences, and the answer is a little bit difficult and confusing sometimes. But day by day, just trying to correct that experience, improve the skill to how to use the AI tool is. So not only to depends on the AI tool, to using and how can I say, to input and improve the skill. The how to use it is it's possible to improve it. And in fact, in my coding bootcamp to teach for Japanese students by Rwandan and Senegalese staff, the beginning of the operation of the answer by AI tool, by Japanese, everything, beginning is the NPS is not good. But day by day, the 6 months every day to try to share the knowledge of the Japanese sentences. Sometimes おはようございます or よろしくお願いします best regards like that. To add on the sentences, it's more natural Japanese looks like. Like that to prepare the sample sentences very important. So it's my experience. So just do it, just use it, try out. Don't afraid of the mistakes. That's it.
Fantastic. So just try using the AI technology and you're going to gain experience. And over the course of 6 months, I heard you say the NPS, which stands for Net Promoter Score, which is a term for business, of how much the students really like and would continue to use the service, right? The translation and share it with others went up. And you did it by teaching your staff to use some phrases and things like that that are more culturally acceptable, that make it polite, that make it sound smooth. Did I hear you correctly? And how you improved the use of AI in your interaction? Is that right? Oh, fantastic. Okay, that's wonderful. It looks here like Kirsten Thompson has asked a question. Could this tech be used in classrooms with refugees? Often refugee children don't speak the language of their host country. I can answer from our end, Kirsten, about Spiffio, that absolutely yes. If in an English language classroom, let's say, it's possible for the teacher to be speaking into a microphone that's connected to a computer running Spiffio. And as the teacher is speaking, it's able to break up what she's saying into sentences and then translate that into a language that a child might be able to understand in their own native language on their phone as a subtitle if they are literate. And for certain languages, if they are they're not literate yet, it may be able to even speak it aloud to them so that they can hear it as well. And that's one of our passions at Spiffio, is to make that education accessible to children in every language. And there's other tools that we do too, because you also may want to make your homework assignments translated into another language. And so building tools to make worksheets translated and other things like that. So the whole experience for a student coming in is that they really are included. They really are welcome, and they can even share about their own, lives and culture in that classroom setting. The second question someone asked, I think AI could be very useful for my students, but it feels very daunting. How could I use it to help my students that are struggling, especially those that don't have English as a first language? Maybe Hiro, you have some ideas even for Japanese as a first language or
Yes.
something. Why don't you share your idea first? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll share my screen again, like this slide. So I want to share my experience about in my coding boot camp.
Okay.
How to operate is okay. Not sharing this slide. It's okay. Just explain about.
Okay.
To use AI tool like a DeepL
Yeah.
to check translate retranslate. For example, the English one, first to typing the English one sentences and to use the DeepL or Google Translation to make a Japanese, for example, Japanese sentences, and again recheck again to translate. It's more sure to improve the quality or check the quality
Yes.
of the sentences. It's possible. It's not it's a little bit inconvenient because also copy and paste is.
Yes.
But if you worry about the quality about the AI tool, I recommend like this operation. My staff, all of my staff, to do this operation. But day by day, if you continue to like this operation, maybe your skill and your knowledge improve. So it's no problem to double check someday in the future.
So what I'm seeing in your diagram is that you have a workflow where you use two different AI translation engines, Google Translate and DeepL, but you translate into one and use the other to translate back into English or Japanese.
Yes, or only one DeepL, it's okay.
Okay, or just one. But you're using that iterative loop of try out, translate back, and verify that it's saying what you want. And that lets you change what you input. And we obviously have a lot of experience doing machine translation. That's our business. And we know that sometimes even something simple like making a letter uppercase or lowercase can affect the output. And so you learn through this process how to give the input that will give you trustworthy output that you want on the other end. And it sounds like for your school, because it's online, it's really, really nice because your remote teachers are able to do this. And to answer the question that we heard earlier, I think that what we need is for tools that teachers can use in their classroom, if it's in person or something, that don't feel daunting or overwhelming. I think these tools that you mentioned are really good because they're free, they're accessible, and just getting experience can help. And there's things that Spiffio we're doing to try to simplify the use of that AI so that you don't have to go through this step-by-step flow that's quite complex, but still have confidence in what you're giving to your students. So I think the question was about ESL students. One of the things that can help a lot is to use simple language. And there's tools that can show, hey, your English is too sophisticated, and here's how you can change it, or creating worksheets that are available in other languages. In addition to just translating what's being said, or in addition to just translating videos. If you're going to use videos in your classroom, you can have subtitles in the student's language, or letting them present in their language. If they write in their own language, they could maybe do a show and tell for the other students in their own language, and all the other students can get it in English. So there's a lot of opportunities like that to really make this a smooth experience that really can help students and really empower teachers. So this has been wonderful. I see Marin made a comment, simplification of AI is necessary for applying it in the classrooms. I completely agree. AI should not be presented as this scary, big thing, technology, but really as a tool that can empower teachers to serve their students better and help them learn, include everyone, and make learning fun. And that's what we really value at Spiffio, and that's what we're seeking to do. Obviously, we have to do this together with teachers, with people like you, Hiro, to learn how can we do that? How can we make AI as effective as possible for students in their learning and in their inclusion in the classroom? So I think let's summarize our conversation with a few takeaways. The first one I heard you say was including teachers abroad is a viable option to help address teacher shortages. And Dive into Code is already doing that every day. That's amazing, right? To connecting the teachers in Africa to serve the students of Japan. The second takeaway is the language barrier can already be bridged through written-based AI translation. For written texts, like a forum post and emails and documents, AI translation is already ready to be used. The third one that I heard you say earlier was progress is more important than perfection. And so if people are afraid, if teachers feel afraid, it's okay. Just start using it, start progressing, start trying it, because that's how you're going to learn how to make it work for that classroom setting. And then the fourth one, I think, was really your big dream, Hiro, was implementing translation as a path towards inclusion. Our cultures are transformed when we increase intercultural interaction. And that's what you saw with your team at Dive Into Code. That's what you're hoping and dreaming for Japan and all the youth, that they can be exposed to the rest of the world and have that kind of relationship and connection. And that's a dream that, at Spiffio, we really support. So those are 4 takeaways that we got from our talk today. Hiro, thank you so much for sharing about your vital work. Thank you
You're welcome.
everyone watching for your interest and passion in creating an inclusive education system with AI. We hope our dialogue inspired you with some fruitful ideas. And in honor of World Education Week, like I mentioned, we at Spiffio are creating a free, simple tool that lets you create a fill-in-the-blank worksheet, also known as a cloze exercise, from any text. And we hope this tool will help teachers save time by enabling them to take content they want students to learn, whether it be in written form or oral form taken from an audio or video file, and quickly turn it into an assignment that can be easily graded. And we're making this tool compatible with Latin script languages to start, with more languages to follow. To access this and many other resources, please go to spf.io/edu. Thank you, and have a wonderful World Education Week. And Hiro, thank you so much for joining us from Mongolia and sharing about your important work at Dive Into Code.
Yes, thank you so much. Let's make the world a better place together and communicate with me. Yes, by AI too.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.